Hi guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be on some pretty palettes though that I don't use and why. It's just there's different reasons for them, so I'm gonna go over some are pretty old and some are pretty new, so I'm gonna talk about them today, and then maybe you can tell me in the comment section if I maybe were thinking wrong about why I don't really use them. But it's not about them being good or bad. Like I said, it's just pretty palettes. I think that they're really nice, pretty, but I just don't use them. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so this first one here is by Tarte. It is so pretty. I really like this one. I got it last year and it's part of their magical collection or unicorn collection. It's called the Make Believe in Yourself palette, and it is completely metallic shades in here. And it also has a pretty highlighter in there. Let me swatch some of these. This one has a bunch of different colorful metallic shades that actually show up really nicely. And whenever I bought it, I thought, yep, this is a palette that I'm really gonna use. I'm really gonna like it. I can imagine a lot of different looks with it. And then I ended up not really using it. It is one of, it's not a permanent palette. It was like a limited edition type of palette, and I honestly don't know if you guys even have this, if you like it, if you use it. And another reason why is because you can't really create a complete look with it, which I don't mind, but I know that if you're following a tutorial, you probably don't want to get like a bunch of different palettes. So it's one of the main reasons why I don't. Again, completely metallic shades in here. It's still very pretty. I like them. I think it's a good quality palette. I really like it. It actually has some pretty unique pastel shimmers or metallics in here, so I think it's a really nice palette. But again, tell me if you like it, if you use it, if you bought it. And yeah, that's it for that one. So again, it's not that it's bad, it's just I don't really use it. Okay, so here's one that's pretty new. This is the Fenty Moroccan Spice palette, and again, this is another one that I felt like I could just imagine all these beautiful eyeshadow looks, and I haven't done any on my channel. I've done some by myself, but not that I filmed them or did a tutorial on them or anything. And whenever I look at it, I just don't really feel inspired. Like, what look should I do? It does have some very pretty shades. They're nice, like they blend out. I have a full video on this palette. Not eye swatches, I wasn't doing eye swatches then, but the eyeshadows are nice. But there's nothing completely like unique about it. It has some nice cool tones. So there's that. Not a lot of palettes have a bunch of cool tones. Like, it does have like this pretty pinky matte, a warm one, this pretty red one, and then let me swatch this blue one. So there are some 4 shades right there. That's a pretty blue, right? Swatch is very pretty. But yeah, I just don't feel like I reach for it. I'm not inspired by the palette. That's all I can pretty much say. Whenever I see it in my drawer and I'm like, nah, that's not one that I want to use today. Okay, so then we have this vault here. I really like some of these. Like, I feel like the shades in here are so unique. Like, some of them, not all of them. Some of them are really like very common, but I don't feel like everybody got great palettes. I mean, just from reviews, from videos, from your comments, I just know that they're patchy and they're not consistent. So to me, it's just like, what's the point of doing a look with it when you can't even use your own? I feel like I got some pretty good palettes. I don't feel like they were too bad. I have a full video on this. I have every single eye swatch video. You can see the way mine are. But I even told you then that I couldn't recommend it just because mine were okay, but I know that not all of them were. Whether you got them at Ulta or Morphe, I know there's tons of people that got very bad palettes. So yeah, I gotta say some of my favorite ones in here are the ones from the blue palette, which is Dark Magic. So unique, like very pretty shades. You don't really see a lot of these green tones in a lot of different palettes. Let me swatch the blue, the green, and the dark green in there. So pretty. Look at that. That is such a pretty combination. So that's why I kind of like don't do looks with them anymore. I did do tutorials using each one, but I know that a lot of you can't. So yeah, then it's kind of like, you know, you're kind of recommending it, but then I'm gonna get it and it's not gonna be good, and then it's gonna be my fault. The other favorite one of mine is the yellow one. That one's called, no, it's not that one. It's Armed and Gorgeous. This one right here. I also feel like there's some very pretty shades in here. Yellow is one of my favorite colors to wear on my eyes. I just really like it. I'm also gonna swatch this green one, and then we'll do the other yellow one. So very, very pretty. I matched this up with like a similar lipstick that I have, or 2 lipsticks that I have, and the looks just are so pretty. So I don't know, you tell me what you think about this vault. Did you get it? Did it suck for you? Did you not get good palettes? I honestly feel like mine are fine, but I don't know if you're interested in still seeing vault, like the vault eyeshadow looks. Why can't I say it? I don't feel like, I'm not sure if you're interested in tutorials using these palettes, so I feel like that's why I just don't use them. But now that I took it out, I'm really wanting to do a look with Dark Magic again, because the colors in here are very, very pretty. So yeah, I guess it's just a vault as a whole, not one specifically like I'm not sure of. I still think these palettes are very pretty, but like I said, I don't use them for that reason. I feel like I got some good ones, like some good ones to talk about that I'm surprised are in this video, because they are so pretty. But yeah, I got some good ones to show you. All of them are pretty good, like interesting to know about. So this one is the Urban Decay Heavy Metals. Is it the Heavy Metals? Is that what it's called? I'm pretty sure it was the Heavy Metals. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure. The Heavy Metals palette has a very unique packaging to it. It's very pretty. Purple on the outside, and it just slides out like this. So there. It has a mirror right in the middle. It also has nothing but metallic shades in here. And you get a lot of colors that you don't normally see as a metallic all in one palette. You have one side with nothing but the neutral tones, and then my favorite side, which is the colorful tones. I love doing colorful eyeshadow looks, so this is a palette that I could get and just think of, okay, what look am I gonna do, and then what metallic shade do I want to match with it. This palette is just like the perfect little palette for that. But again, that's a reason why I don't really use it, is because it's like a one-time shade application. I need to pair it up with another palette, and you cannot complete a whole look with it unless you want your entire look to be completely shimmer. Let me swatch. This red one on the neutral tone side is so pretty, and then it also has some unique blue ones, like this aqua one, this pretty blue shimmery one, and I'll swatch the green one. So nice. And all of these are really intense. Look at that. So pretty. Tell me if you have this palette. I really like it. It wasn't the same as the Vice palettes, because those included matte shades in there and this one doesn't. So I feel like it's a little hard to just you have to find another palette to work with it. So yeah, if I use this, like I said, for a tutorial, it's just going to be one step. Like, okay, time for the shimmer, and I'm gonna take this palette out, and that's it. Yep. There. It has to slide back in there. But yes, it's very pretty. I like it. I think the quality of this palette was super good. All the metallic shades are really pretty, really intense. They show up really nicely in your eyeshadow look, but you do need something else to use it with. Okay, I have 3 more to get to, and this next one is one that I also did an entire video with it, entire look with it. I got a lot of things from the collection. This is the Thirsty palette. And yeah, in that video, a lot of y'all, well, maybe not y'all, but like people who watched that video were like, oh, you just weren't using it right. And honestly, I was using that palette just like every other look that I do. So it's not my fault. The palette didn't work out for me like I thought it would. It was my first palette getting from the brand, and to me, I had just heard such great things about the formula, of how it blended. It does have pretty shades. There's nothing wrong with the shades, the color combination. It's so pretty, like it has these bright colors up there and these colorful tones down here. These right here were some of the ones that I was really interested in. This came out in the summer. It's called the Thirsty palette. Came out in the summer. I think the color combination was perfect. It was just such a good launch. Like, I think the colors in here were very pretty. Let me swatch some of these colorful ones so that way you can see them. So nice. Nice colors. And I did do a pretty look with it. I even did, like, I don't remember what it was, but I used a lot of the colors in here. The colors in here are very pretty, the colorful shades in here. Like I said, I did an entire eye look with it. I did like kind of like a sunset look in that video, and it honestly wasn't like anything too crazy awesome like I had heard about the formula and stuff. Now I know that the formula in this one was different than the Blood Sugar palette, and I don't know what other palettes there were, but it is different, so maybe that's why. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the palette. This is one of those palettes that I don't feel like using, or I just don't reach for a lot, but like I said, it's still very pretty. It's just, there's nothing too much about it. I do have some of these shades that are very similar, so I guess I just grabbed those like from my BH Cosmetics palette or something like that. But again, it's not a bad palette. I do like it, and I think it's pretty. I just never reached for it. So I guess it wasn't exactly what I was expecting maybe. Okay, so this one is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons. And this one is a cool toned palette with a little bit of pink in there, and I don't know why, but I never use it. I think it was just one of those palettes that got very popular because of the chocolate releases they were having, and this is part of that type of line. So I think that's the main reason why a lot of people were looking forward to it, but I just don't know why. I just don't ever use it in tutorials. I never use it by myself. And yeah, let me swatch some of these pink shades. It has 3 pink shades in here, and all of the other ones are cool toned browns. I'll swatch the darkest brown in here. So here are the 3 pinks and the brown one. So yes, very pretty. The formula's fine. Everything's fine from it. I do have other favorites Too Faced palettes, like the chocolate bar palette. That one's pretty. My favorite is the gingerbread palette that just came out this year. So yeah, I just don't know why. I just don't really feel like using this one. Let me swatch the highlighter in there, because that one is really pretty. I don't have anything to say like it's bad or I'm not inspired by it, or maybe that is one of the things. Because there's not much to it, just a bunch of browns, and then you get 1 purple and those 3 pinks. So yeah, I don't know why. I just don't, like I said, nothing wrong with the palette either. Very pretty. I just don't use it. And then this last one is the Marc Jacobs. This one's called 204, the Starlit palette. And it has a bunch of very pretty shimmer shades in there. I actually got this one for my birthday from one of my sisters, and I mean, I like it. It's just that I never use it. It has a bunch of shimmer shades. There are no mattes in here. Some of them, or most of them, are cool tone shades. Let me swatch. I'll swatch the light mauvey purple. That one's a brown, the gold, and the silver one in here. So it does have very pretty eyeshadows. I feel like it's just one of those metallic palettes that you need another palette to use it. You know, it's just one of those one-step type of things. Like, okay, I'm gonna apply that all over the lid. Same as the metallic eyeshadow palettes that I showed you earlier. It's not like it's bad. I think it's nice, and it does have pretty intense pigmentation to it. It's just that I never use it, and I don't even know if y'all have it. Again, nothing bad to say about it. Very pretty. I just never reach for it. I guess I just don't really think about this palette when I'm thinking, let me add silver, let me add a gold, because again, a lot of the palettes really do have those shades. So if you saw one palette in here that you would like for me to do a tutorial on, let me know below, because some of these, like I said, it's like one of those things that I'm not sure if you even care to see, like these right here. But yeah, so that is it for today's video. Let me know if you have some pretty palettes in your collection that you never reach for. And thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I will see you in my next one. Bye.